Isaac and Orville moved extremely fast. Within a quarter of an hour, all of Walter's men in Orr's Hill, including the Asong who was about to throw the body, were controlled by the two of them. For Orr's Hill People's Hospital, Isaac came in person. His men took their guns directly and surrounded the two cars under Walter's use. As soon as the guns were aimed at the 5 men, all of them immediately surrendered, and obediently let themselves grabbed by the men sent for the job. Immediately afterward, all 5 people were taken into a modified minibus. And their Rolls-Royce and Buick commercial were driven away by Orville's men. These 2 cars will be sent directly to a car recycling factory tonight, where they will be disassembled, squeezed into a pile of scrap iron, and thrown into a chain steel furnace. In other words, after tonight, it would be impossible to find the whereabouts of these 2 cars. Afterward, Isaac called Charlie and respectfully said, "Master, the 5 people downstairs in the hospital are all under control. Where are you? I'll send someone over and take that Walter away." Charlie said, "Come directly to the number 1 intensive care unit of the nephrology department." "Okay, Master." Walter, who had not dared to speak anymore, burst into tears when he heard Charlie's call with Isaac. He really didn't expect that he would fall into such a trap and see a tragic end. He thought he was the raptor crossing the river and coming to Orr's Hill to swim freely, so he naturally didn't put Doris in his eyes, but wanted to take the opportunity to secure her as a plaything, and then drain her use value. However, who could have predicted that there are people like Charlie with hands, eyes, and harsh methods in a small place like Orr's Hill? Walter regretted it very much, but regret could not solve any problems. From the day he decided to poison Doris's father, his fate was already doomed. Soon, Isaac took people to the ward. The moment Walter saw Isaac, he seemed to have seen a ghost. Just now, Charlie and Isaac only made a voice call on WeChat. Walt only knew that Charlie was communicating with his subordinates, but Walter didn't know who his subordinates were. However, when he saw Isaac, his whole body was instantly struck by lightning. "Isaac, Mr. Isaac," Walter blurted out subconsciously. "You? Why are you here?" When Walter first came to Orr's Hill, out of basic etiquette, he took the initiative to visit Isaac. The reason why he came to visit Isaac was that he knew that Isaac was the spokesperson of the Wade family in Orr's Hill. It can be said that he is the person with the strongest background in the city. When he first arrived, he naturally wanted to be familiar with the man calling shots. However, the two met only at that time. In Walter's cognition, Isaac represents the pinnacle of Orr's Hill's influence, but he never dreamed that Isaac would appear here. Isaac looked at Walter, smiled playfully, and said, "Walter, when you saw me last time, didn't you say that you have admired the Wade family for a long time? The man in front of you is the young master of the Wade family?" "What?" Walter felt his heart being run over by a heavy-loaded train in turn. "I unexpectedly angered the Wade family's young master. What kind of idiot am I that would anger young Master Wade family? The Wade family's strength is at least dozens of times stronger than the Hogwarts family." Thinking of this, Walter really realized how sad and ridiculous he was and how foolish at the same time. He thought when he came to Orr's Hill that he could do whatever he wanted as long as he avoided Isaac, but he didn't expect that he would provoke the Wade family's young master all at once, let alone Isaac. So, while he kept beating his face vigorously, he cried and said, "Master, I have no eyes and I didn't think I would offend you. I didn't know that Doris was your friend. If I knew it, beat me to death." "I won't have any attempts against her." Charlie smiled and asked him, "Do you know that Emgrand Group is also my industry?" "Ah?" Walter's eyes widened, and he blurted out, This, I really don't know about this. Master Wade, if I knew, you can tell, do I look so courageous? I would not dare to have any evil thoughts about the Emgrand Group." Before Walter came, he specifically checked the background of the Emgrand Group. However, because the company was bought by the Wade family as a gift to Charlie, it was not included in the Wade family's own assets. He checked, but didn't understand the background. He thought it was just a real estate company in the province. In addition, he wanted to quickly gain a foothold in China, and even quickly achieve profitability, and Doris happened to be the vice chairman of the Emgrand Group, so he started with cultivating Doris to make his idea come true. He always felt that as long as Doris could be controlled by him, he would not only be able to possess Doris, but also draw a part of the blood from the Emgrand group in order to quickly improve his strength. But he didn't even think that the company he wanted to suck blood was actually Wade family and Master Wade's property. This is like a mouse, thinking about the tiger's food carelessly. It is simply seeking a dead end, no chance of survival. Isaac glanced at Walter at this time, with a bit of pity in his eyes, and thought in his heart, this Walter can be regarded as a handsome and talented person, plus the family is also a wealthy business class. The future is limitless for such a progeny. But what is not good for him, he provoked the young master. Isn't this rushing to fly more than 10,000 kilometers from the United States to die? Immediately, Isaac looked at Charlie and asked respectfully, Master, shall I take him away now? Charlie nodded. Take him away. Walter was frightened and limp, and blurted out, Master, please let me go, Master Wade. My grandma is from the Rothschild family. You should have heard of the Rothschild family, right? In the list of top-notch families, rich and in all countries, and the entire economic and energy lifeline of Europe and America are in the hands of the Rothschild family. If you let me go, I can help you get online with the Rothschild family, and let you cooperate with them. This is good for you and you can get fortunes in days, that you dreamed in years. Charlie sneered when he heard it. I'm sorry, I'm not interested in working with the Rothschild family. Seeing that the attempts were unsuccessful, Walter was dying to struggle and said, if you really insist on locking me up for inhumane torture, once the Rothschilds know about it, have you considered the consequences? Although my last name is not Rothschild, I, nevertheless, have a quarter of my blood from the Rothschild family. Rothschild will not allow anyone to treat offspring with their blood in this way. By then, they will not let you go, they will only make you die worse. When Isaac heard this, he slapped Walter angrily, and said coldly, are you looking for death? When your death is approaching, you dare to speak rashly to the young master, believe it or not, I will cut your tongue? Charlie waved his hand to interrupt Isaac at this time, and said calmly, Mr. Isaac, let him say what he wants to say. Walter yelled in panic, I'm done. You'd better consider carefully whether you really want to offend the entire Rothschild family because of me. Charlie nodded, smiled, and said playfully, to tell you the truth, I am not afraid to offend the Rothschild family, because even if they don't come to me, I will find them sooner or later. Speaking of this, Charlie paused slightly, and said in a firm and domineering tone, I still have a blood debt, and I have to pay for it with the Rothschild family slowly.